Listen, sis, this year we are going after our dreams. We are going after our goals with everything that God has put inside of us to do. We are going to achieve it together, okay? I'm going to be sharing some very key steps and advice that's really going to help you on your journey of trying to achieve all that you believe that you can achieve. I used to be so afraid of doing what God had called me to do for so many different reasons. I used to struggle a lot with, just believing in myself or thinking that I couldn't do it because I was worried what other people would think or say, and I just really didn't see myself as significant in any way. And I know that a lot of young girls are struggling with. That is the way that we see ourselves, right? Majority of the time it's so different from how God sees us. God isn't focused on how you view this version of you now. He knows what He has made you to become. He knows the version of you that has the ability to achieve all those things. And so when God calls people, or when God tells you to do something, He's not only interested in the thing that you can do with your hands, He's also interested in making you, in working on your character, in helping you to be bolder, in helping you to be much more confident, in helping you to have that tenacity, have that strength, have that wisdom. God is more interested in who you are, who you're becoming, more than He's interested in, he cares about your soul more than the things that you're actually doing, more than your work, if I should put it that way. So yes, though I look down on myself, God has been giving me the courage and the strength to really believe and know that something good, something great can come out of my life as well. And that's what I want to start off with before we get into the tips. But number one, you have to know is that your dreams and your goals has to align with God's will for you. Do you know what God's will is for your life? God's ultimate purpose for you, right? That ultimate purpose, in quote, of what He has called you to do, it may not manifest in the first month, in the second month, in the first year. However, you should have yearly goals, things that you're working on, building up to the thing that you're eventually going to be doing for a long time, to impact people, to help people, to draw people to Christ. Like I always love to say, we are not living on this earth for ourselves. Our salvation isn't just about just yourself. It is also to help other people eventually. All right, and a Christian should have that heart of compassion, because that is the mission that ultimately we have been put on earth to do. That is God's ultimate will and purpose. But of course it looks different. How that's going to happen looks different for every single person, because God is unique, God is creative, and He does things in so many different ways. So know that whatever you're working on, whatever you're dreaming of, should be aligned to God's will for your life. Don't just because you want to achieve something, don't just do things randomly or try to do everything because everyone else is doing everything. You're making sure that you are walking at the right path, at the right pace, not speeding in the wrong direction. So please seek God's direction in prayer, on the word, and open your heart to listen for the different ways that He may speak to you, to show you what it is He wants you to actually do, one step at a time. Number two thing is that you have to know the different things that the enemy will try to use or has tried to use to slow you down or to discourage you. For a lot of people, that is fear. Fear holds people back like nothing else. The fear of what people will think, of what people will say, the fear that they're not good enough, the fear that they're not going to succeed at that thing that they know deep down that they can actually do. Fear hinders people, and fear is not of God. Fear is of the enemy. So you have to observe in your life, what is that thing that the enemy has really used to keep you bound, or to keep hiding within your comfort zone, that has not allowed you to really step out, to really dare to do something new, to really dare to believe. How have you been viewing yourself? And that also ties in line with also healing our self-image. How you view yourself can really be limiting it is a sign of a limiting mindset, and that does require healing on so many levels, and healing that God can actually help you with. Because like I've been saying, it's not just about what you can do with your hand, it's about the inner work as well, who you're becoming in the process. And there are things that you must overcome before you're able to fully step up or truly arise to do the thing that you've been called to do in this year. Please prioritize your healing. Don't neglect your inner world, because a lot of times it will just pop up at random times and you don't want anything to be a hindrance because you have refused to do the work at a time when you should have. So be vulnerable enough to just be honest with God. Be honest with Him. Even if you can't be honest with people, you can be honest with God. He sees all. He sees whatever has caused you trauma or pain. He sees when, people have spoken negatively to you, that's made you doubt your abilities, that has made you really shrink back, in fear and in timidity. God can break those things off of you, just as He did for me as well. The third thing to do is to identify the habits and the things that you have to implement in order to reach your goals. On this channel, we are all about taking action, all right, to becoming that woman. It's not just about dreaming. It's not just about being Joseph the Dreamer and you don't have any plan. You don't have any tangible, course of action that you're willing to take. God wants us to be hard working, to work day in, day out. That is part of how the virtuous woman was as well. What are the habits that are limiting you or hindering you? What are the right habits that you can pick up or begin to practice this year that will literally change the way you manage your time, that will help you to see progress every single month? Because time is flying. Time has been going so quickly, and so every moment that we waste, every distraction that we permit, it really does eat into our time. And before you know it, you're looking back and 20 hours that week that you could have saved and done something productive, you used it to just scroll on social media and it has taken you nowhere. And I'm speaking to myself as well. There are little things that we permit into our lives that we think are harmless, but really when you just the compound effect of that are so disastrous and just time wasting. So you want to show up as the woman you dream of becoming. She's not just going to arrive one day, just one day in the distant future. We have to begin to show up as that woman, the woman that God has placed in your heart, that how He has made you to be. And I've said this before, she is within you, right? She is within you. You just have to do some growing. You just have to do some healing. You just have to do some overcoming. And she is there. She is just people are going to see the difference. You're going to feel the difference, right? What I'm trying to say is that it is not an impossibility for you as well. You just have to believe that you can partner with God and you will see what I am talking about. So the next thing I want you to do is have a vision for your life. You have to know where you are headed. You cannot just beat around the bush randomly. You have to be very, very specific, and this vision has to come from God as well, so that you know that everything that you're doing is in line with what He has for you as well. So seek God about your dreams and goals, seek God about your purpose, write things down. Habakkuk 2:4 talks about writing down the vision and making it plain and run it with it as well. Every day that you are running, every choice that you make, you're running towards a specific goal. And another thing I want to talk about that you must have on this journey is patience, because things are not just always gonna just be explode, or just everything's not gonna happen in one day. Everything is not gonna happen in one day, and that is okay, because a lot of this is character building. A lot of this is testing your motive. A lot of this is, are you actually ready to handle that thing that you are praying for at the capacity that it really can be? It has to be one step at a time. So each building block is building your capacity to handle that final number 10 step. You cannot expect everything because it will just be too heavy for you. Do you have the wisdom and the capacity to handle the requirements or the demands that a later version of you can actually handle? So don't try to move beyond the speed that God is trying to take you in in this very moment. And again, sometimes this can come as a result of comparison, comparing ourselves to other people, because this girl got married in 2 months. You feel like you too must get married in 2 months, but you don't even know a thing about marriage. Like, that's just an example, but we just have to know that our life is like a journey. It's like building blocks, one step at a time, and we can't neglect the rights, principles. We can't neglect doing things, in our own pace, so that when you get to where you're going, your foundation is solid, your foundation is strong, because it's not just about arriving, it's not just about speeding to get somewhere. It's also making sure that by God's grace, if you do things His way, you would also last and have a lasting impact when you get there as well. Another thing is, you don't have to have everything all together. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to have the best gear in the world. I started my channel with my old phone that the quality wasn't the best, but I had a dream, I had a vision in my heart by God, and I knew where God wanted this channel to go, and I just had to start. You just have to start in obedience, and God makes provision along the way for you to improve, for you to get better, because He sees that you're actually serious. He sees that you're being faithful. He sees that your motive is not about, the wrong things, to be famous or to be known or to be loved by everybody or the likes and things like that. Your focus should be on, no matter what it is, what it looks like, your dream is different from everybody else's, but it should also be about impacting people and helping people, not just about yourself. So I wanted to leave you a final remarks, and that is, please trust God's plan for your life. He knows best, better than us. He knows what is good. He knows what is perfect. Please trust Him. Please don't try to rush beyond your time. Please be patient with your process. And just keep on going, keep on dreaming, believe in yourself, and know that with God, all things are possible. I believe in you. I know that you will achieve greatness. I know that you are special to God, and I know that He has very good plans for you, and that is what the enemy feels threatened by. So don't let fear hold you back, and I know that 2024 will be one of the best years of your life. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next week's video. Bye guys.